So, every time we complete one of the town records missions, it gives us another prosperity. So I kind of want to keep going.
Yeah, let's keep doing those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the town record should be updated now, so we can continue reading. Yep. Town records narrative.
Oh.
Um,
Ah, my esteemed patrons. Dominic greets you at the door of the Town Records building. I cannot thank you enough for securing the support of Councilman Greymare. He leads you through the half-filled shelves of books towards a small room in the back of the building. When I heard the good news, I immediately got to work and continued my writing. Dominic sits down at a large table in the room, his book sitting before him. He gestures you towards chairs as well. It still needs more detail, more research, but I'm proud of it so far. Why don't you take a look at what I have? Please, read. Nestled in the calm waters of Merchant's Bay, Gloomhaven was founded over 300 years ago as a harbor for trade ships traveling across the Misty Sea. Though newer than most human settlements, it expanded rapidly because of its importance as a hub of commerce for humans and other races. Gloomhaven is integral to the human economy because it rests in the only viable spot on the eastern coastline for harboring large amounts of ships. That the town is still under military rule causes no end of aggravation to merchants across the continent. All imports and exports are heavily taxed. The simple truth of the matter is that Gloomhaven is still a vastly dangerous city. Where other settlements have grown far safer over the course of human expansion, Gloomhaven seems to only grow more unsafe, despite countless efforts to tame the surrounding wilds. It is almost as if there is a dark presence outside the walls, bent on tearing apart the city and its citizens. Of course, not all share this opinion. Some merchants believe that the military is actively encouraging the dangerous elements beyond the walls, inciting tribes of vermlings to attack the city, for instance, to remind everyone that the military is necessary for Gloomhaven's survival. It may be a cynical view, but with the Merchants' Revolution toppling every other military government across the continent, it's hard to deny that the military only remains in power in Gloomhaven because of the persistent outside threats. Dominic wrings his hands. I know, maybe you were expecting more, but I assure you this is just the beginning. In my research, I've found a number of sources that allude to the Demon War, the war between humans and the Valraths to the south that occurred hundreds of years ago, to be one of the central causes that led to the founding of Gloomhaven. But the whole thing just doesn't make much sense to me. Dominic begins to stroke his beard. I mean, this war happened long before Gloomhaven ever existed, so I just don't see the connection. But I must find out. There's a much deeper story to all of this, and the Demon War has to be the key. I've requested some books from the Southern Valrath libraries that I hope might shed some light on the matter, but we currently don't have the funds to transport them. We don't have the funds for much, really. Dominic stands from the table and walks you back towards the door. Just to keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure some money will trickle down to me eventually.
cool. So, in order
Dominic
to advance,
trots quickly from behind the counter to meet you as you enter the Town Records building. Just the mercenaries I wanted to see. I have something to show you.
it immediately moved on to the next part because the requirements for advancing was to reach a certain prosperity, which we've already hit. So we can now continue because of that.
After vigorously shaking your hand, he turns and ushers you to follow as he moves toward the back room. The texts from the southern continent finally arrived, and they have been very helpful. They've painted a much clearer picture of the Demon War. Dominic opens the back door and gestures for you to sit down in front of his open book. Please, I'd like you to read the latest entry, and then we'll have more to talk about. There you are. In the early years of human expansion, it was inevitable that the military would clash with the burgeoning nation of fierce Valrath to the south. Both races had a thirst for power, and this came to a head in the grassland area of Stormbrew. Both nations claimed ownership of the region, and small skirmishes between settlements quickly escalated into an all-encompassing war. The fighting raged for 6 years. The full attention of both civilizations bore down on those blood-soaked plains. Both races were equally fierce, stubborn, and filled with an unquenchable rage. And after 6 years, the war had taken a heavy toll on both nations. With all of their resources being poured into the war, both races fell victim to numerous threats from within and from outside their borders. Starvation, disease, and crime ran rampant. Before too long, both would crumble and be destroyed under the weight of the conflict. So it came to pass, directly before what was to be one of the greatest and costliest battles between the two great commanders of the war, that an Aesthur appeared between the two armies and offered a means for peace. The Aesthur was the first of his kind that either of these two races had ever seen, and when he presented his offer, the commanders were terribly skeptical. In the end, however, they agreed to give the Aesthur a chance. Neither commander trusted the other or the Aesthur, so when the Aesthur told them to follow him to the east, both leaders brought a battalion of soldiers with them. After a few days of marching, though, a great fog rolled across the plains, and soon the two commanders were separated from their battalions. They emerged from the fog alone, just two commanders and the Aesthur standing in the middle of a great ruin, an entire city of overgrown stone from a long-forgotten civilization. Standing among the ruins, the Aesthur turned and told these two commanders a story. He told them of the great upheaval and the true history of their two races. When the story was finished, the two commanders made peace on the spot. The Valraths renounced their vicious, expansionist nature, and the two races worked together to build a civilization around strength and commerce. The story of the upheaval was only told orally, passed down from leader to leader. And many generations after the peace treaty was signed, the descendants of the two commanders began work constructing a new city as a monument to the treaty. A city built on the very spot where the Aesthur told his tale. The city of Gloomhaven. You look up from the book to see Dominic staring intently at you. A smile grows on his face. "Right?" he says. "Surely you have the same questions I do. I mean, for starters, what was this upheaval?" He begins pacing around the room, stumbling over his robes multiple times. "Was it some sort of catastrophe? What could the Aesthur have possibly said to stop an entire war? And Gloomhaven was built on top of an ancient city. We're all aware of the ruins beneath us, but I always thought it was an earlier settlement destroyed by raiders. But the ruins predate humanity itself. Is the upheaval what destroyed the original city?" Dominic coughs and adjusts his beard. "There are, well, too many questions. I cannot possibly continue without the answers. I pored over all the texts from the Valrath library, but this story told by the Aesthur is in none of them. The books say it was only passed down orally, but that is hard to believe. There has to be a written record somewhere." He turns back to you and shrugs. "I may need your help in the near future, but for now, I need to make more contacts and try to gather more information about where a record of the upheaval story could possibly be. I'll send for you when I know more." Glad to see you got my note." Dominic shakes your hands and then remains conspicuously quiet until you enter the back room and the door is closed and locked. "I think I have the answer we're looking for," he begins. "I was right. There is a written record of the Aesthur's story. It appears in the Codex of Directives, a book that should only be read by the highest official in each region. There was a copy delivered to Gloomhaven. But don't worry, you won't have to raid the Ghost Fortress to get it, because it never arrived." Dominic looks at you intently. "It took a lot of legwork, but I eventually sniffed out a guard in town who was protecting the caravan that delivered the book from the capital many years ago. Apparently, the caravan was attacked by a group of Inox near the southern tip of the Dagger Forest. The guard was dragged back to the Inox camp before he managed to escape and find his way to Gloomhaven. Oddly enough, No one was ever sent to find the camp and recover the caravan's goods. They probably didn't want to incite more wrath from the Inox. So the book may still be out there. And with a little grease, the guard told me exactly where you can find the camp.
Rockslide Ridge.
Cool.
Cool. Sweet. I actually don't remember what the upheaval was about, so this is going to be interesting. Sweet. So do you all want to continue to the Rockslide Ridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. City encounter. Still waiting on that one city event. It's so elusive. So elusive.
Almost as if it's invisible.
Almost.
can-
Oh.
Is it?
It's me. I should read this because it's about our berserker friend.
Ooh.
Walking near the northern gates, you see some commotion as a group of wounded guards is ushered into town. They look pretty bad off, suffering from many severe wounds. Some even have lost limbs. Bringing up the rear, one guard is carried in by a couple of others. He's missing a leg and has a vicious-looking axe embedded in the side. You realize that the axe looks kind of familiar. Do we let the guards know that you recognize the berserker's axe, or do we stay silent and keep out of it?
I mean, it seems like a
Um,
bad idea to let them know that, hey, I know that. But at the same time,
We could leverage our fame and be like, yeah, we can go look for her. Ha ha.
We
Ha
could.
ha.
yeah, there you go.
What do you all think? Samantha, what do you think?
Ooh. I don't want to get them in trouble.
No, I understand that too. So,
Yeah.
I'm torn as well. So you tell me
Yeah.
what to pick.
Maybe we stay silent.
You want to stay silent?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah. No.
Man,
If it was the
Was it
scoundrel, heck yeah, I'm telling them about the
Heck yeah,
scoundrel.
get the scoundrel.
Yeah. But I liked Regina. Regina. Was
I
cool.
did too. I say this guy probably deserved it.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like it does seem very like incriminating, but I'd like to believe that the berserker had good reason.
I mean, we've killed our fair share of guards too.
True.
We're no
So-
narcs. We're no narcs.
We're not narcs. Yeah.
So stay
no
silent.
narc.
Yeah, we
Okay.
stay silent.
All right, here we go. You casually move on, wondering how the guards found themselves on the wrong side of the berserker's rage. It probably wasn't very difficult. All right.
I'm glad we did that. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna continue on with the town records arc, which is its own separate arc, and going to Rockslide Ridge to deliver the codex to its rightful place in Gloomhaven so Dominic can study it, because apparently they have this book that's supposed to tell us about telling us about the upheaval.
I think so too.
Off cameras, Kevin, do you want to tell the viewers like what you just said about the story that you liked?
Oh, in like the story about like the Valrath and the humans, they were fighting over a piece of land. Just as a quick summary, and according to history, both of them were equally violent, equally brutal. But after the guy told the story about the upheaval and they made peace, he only mentioned how the Valrath pulled back and promised to like stop their brutal ways or whatever. The humans never made mention of that promise, which I found interesting. From
Yeah.
I think it's like a like a historical standpoint. Like, isn't the guy human? So like maybe
That's
he has
interesting.
like some bias on like retelling the story, or
Yeah.
you know, we're in a human settlement, so maybe they're like, let's not paint us in a crappy light.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm of course also intrigued by the previous city that Gloomhaven was built on top of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm wondering if the upheaval has something to do with the gloom, which is the essential like quote unquote big bad that we keep hearing about.
Ah.
And then the other interesting thing is there are first, at least the humans and the Valrath's first encounter with an Aether.
Yeah.
And who was that Aether? I don't know. I don't know. So lots of really cool lore stuff there, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. Summoner. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's yeah. Well.
Something you'd like to share?
Also, I was just looking at the records for all our heroes,
Mm.
and Kevin is about to surpass Fuchsia's damage. I think you have 10 more, and then you're the highest for Blasto.
Oh.
Wow.
Who hasn't read one of these yet today?
I think it's my turn.
Okay, go ahead.
At first, the man looks dead, with numerous open wounds and lying in a pool of blood and the dirt. But then he coughs and whispers something unintelligible. The man looks pretty off, likely attacked by some wild animal, but it's possible he could be saved. We can either help the wounded man the best we can, or let him die, take his belongings.
No, we could help him.
I think, yeah, after what we did to the guards, I feel like we should do
I mean,
it.
we gotta
How big
help
does
him,
he look?
but...
It's not like the right thing. It's because we want to balance out our
Yeah, so we're just trying to balance things out.
This is no child. How rich does
right,
he
if it was a
look?
child, then we're like, okay, we have a quota. All right, help the wounded man. Okay.
The man's wounds actually look worse than they really are, and your time with the Sawbones has given you some experience in what to do. You bind the wounds to stop the bleeding and then give him something to eat. He lost a lot of blood, but after some nursing, he's able to stand and make his way back to Gloomhaven, thanking you profusely in the process, plus 1 reputation.
It's not been that rich. Okay.
We just shoved dirt in it to make it stop.
I mean, honestly, you know, if we're taking cues from the Sawbones, we should have just, you know, axed him right there, you know.
Euthanized.
They have 2, euthanized.
Slice off his leg like the Berserker did.
Yeah.
That's clearly what the Berserker was doing.
Watcher Mountains. You begin to realize why no one ever tried to get back the Codex. If you were an Inox trying to protect your tribe, this seems like a pretty ideal place to set up camp. Constant tremors in the earth cause frequent rock slides along the mountain face, making your climb incredibly difficult. You have to keep your wits about you to dodge the frequently falling rubble. The Inox must have another way up, but without any knowledge of the area, you decide that the only way is the hard way. After a strenuous climb, you finally reach a near-level ridge. A dark cave mouth waits at the ridge's back. That must be where those Inox keep stolen treasures like the Codex. But between you and this cave stands a gauntlet of the tribe's warriors and defenses, bolstered by the mountain's constant rockfall. The Inox clearly understand the advantage this ridge gives them. You ready your weapons as you hear another rock slide fast approaching. There's no way that you'll be able to avoid all of the falling boulders the tremors knock free.
We have to kill all the enemies, and there are 3 ornate chests that we need to loot.
Okay.
Which probably aren't going to have anything in them. We just have to loot them.
Yeah, sounds right. About the open for dungeon. I do wish that the perk stuff put over something else, so it's like still relevant.
I'm wondering if they fix that in Frosthaven, if you get bonuses beyond.
Hope so.
Hopefully that'd be something to add.
It's a couple gold pieces.
Yeah, gold is perfect. You can use it to give to the temple, you can use it to get enhancements.
I especially with how expensive enhancements are, you'd think there'd be like more opportunities to earn gold.
Yeah, I agree. Oh wow, we got a lot happening in this room. Ancient
Oh,
artillery.
no.
Ooh.
We've got hounds to the left and right of us. Wow, this is a pretty stacked room.
And there's a lot of
Can I switch with you, Pockets?
Sure.
Just because
Go ahead.
my songs don't affect me, so
Yeah.
if I'm in the center, I'm a little more protected.
Kevin, do you have the Ring of Brutality still?
I do not.
Oh, it's okay.
I switched it because I was like, there's probably going to be traps here. So
There are. Well, there are. Yeah.
and there are, but it's like, dang it. When I saw this, I was like, I should.
Because I was gonna say this is only 2 rooms. There's just this room and then a small room.
Yeah.
And I'm like doing that double curse and mass extinction. I still feel like you need to do mass extinction anyway, but
Yeah.
Are you extincting?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you should.
Cool.
I think we need some curses on the deck right now because this is very front
The range
loaded.
is 6.
So it'll be at 11
4,
again.
5, 6. Okay, so these first 2 artilleries are definitely going to hit us. The back 2 won't.
Yeah.
So no matter where we are,
Yeah.
I wanted to go and try and take care of those, but then you got all 4 of them hitting you, and so that's kind of really dangerous.
I'm doing a sharpening kit at 23 if it matters to anyone.
Okay. Yeah.
Should have 11.
Are you gonna put up the healing song, Samuel?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That'll be helpful.
I am doing my part.
These guys have retaliate.
I'm doing my.
Retaliate 1. Okay. My. Is this a spot? No, that's. I can't put anything there. Tough.
Yeah. It's a tough room.
That only moves them 1. Okay. Are you doing air this round, Kevin?
Yep.
Okay.
At 11.
When are you going? 11? Okay. I'll do that, and then I can take care of the wolves. It's not going to kill them, but I can attack the 2 wolves on the left, at least. Potentially. And then I need a good...
How erudite of you to put up some air.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'll just... What's that? We'll just do this one. Okay.
Oh, all mercenaries take 1 damage per turn.
I don't like that, but we'll deal with it.
I think it's because
Unless
of the
you
rock
have
slide.
the immunity.
Unless you have
Oh.
immunity.
Ah, it's so nice.
Well, look at these kids.
It's honestly the best perk. I don't even read the side things anymore.
Go ahead. Do it. Yeah, mass extinction. Oh, glorious mass extinction. Mobilize is annoying.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
was hoping they were gonna go first. Okay.
Oh,
Well, I'll
nice.
type
The
the two
air's
my
on the
side.
board.
Yeah. I was hoping that the wolves would move so I could get to them on your guys' side, but I'll just attack the ones over here.
Yeah. That. Nice.
Wait. There we go.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's a good use.
Nice.
That's a good use of that. Use that grenade.
Is it? Wait.
Make sure it's supposed to be
Hold on.
There you go. Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
got it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
And the consume, the air thing's on
Yep.
too? Yeah.
The air's,
Okay.
the air's activated. You're good. Wound. Well, it's already wounded. Okay, okay. That's still good. That's solid.
Yeah.
That's still solid.
Good. Um.
Yeah. So good thing we had a bunch of curses in there. Oh, curse.
Yeah.
It would
I
be nice
think
if they damaged. If they.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's.
I think I should just take out the mana potion and just keep the Ring of Brutality,
That might be better.
just so I can have that up
Yeah.
from the get-go.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Because it pains me every time I see a
A
Curse.
and you're like, oh,
Curse.
This could be an automatic. Yeah, totally agree.
Nice. Ooh,
Nice.
good hit.
Yeah, why not? Power core. Put him here just so that he's not going to be attacked by the dogs. And I would move and disarm you dogs, but no, I'm immobilized. Which is so annoying. Yeah, there's another curse. Another curse.
Oh my god.
Going slowly dying on
It's
the
like,
inside.
oh.
I mean, at least they're not doing damage, so
Yeah.
it's not doing its potential. I almost want to just Banful Hex now and then Major Stamina Potion it back and do it again. Just it's like less than
Ooh.
half now.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. Good to go. You're only down to 4 curses, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna Stamina Potion it and just
Okay.
do it again.